Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. Demolition is now underway at the site of the former Salvation Army building in Prince Albert. The Salvation Army says due to the ongoing arson investigation, police are consulting on the demolition process. Following a Christmas Day fire that destroyed the entire building, the Salvation Army has spent months working to continue supporting those in need with lots of community support. Major Ed Dean says the Salvation Army's main focus is on maintaining service.
The downtown is where the people are. And we've been blessed to be able to be a part of that downtown community. And we hope that's the continuance that we say, the continuity of service, to be where we're at.
Dean says the overnight warming center saw 5,000 visitors this winter. Prince Albert police say a recent three-car collision in the parking lot of the Arthauser Center is a reminder to drive safely and responsibly. Officers responded to a three-car collision yesterday evening in the parking lot. All three cars were rendered inoperable and towed from the scene. Someone sitting in the box of one car was treated by Parkland Ambulance for minor injuries. Police say they will monitor and enforce traffic safety concerns throughout the summer. A Manitoba Conservative MLA is facing criticism tonight for saying the farmer who killed a Saskatchewan man, Colton Boushie, in 2016 was a victim.
In the case that member cites was the farmer was the victim, and he was acquitted. This is for the member of the Minister of Families. He was acquitted by a jury. So does the Minister of Families, does this NDP caucus think that that innocent man should be retried?
Josh Ginter made the comment while debating a resolution in the Manitoba legislature about the rights of people to defend their homes with force if necessary. Gerald Stanley was acquitted of second-degree murder after testifying that he thought Boushie and others were on his property near Biggar to steal vehicles. Stanley said his gun went off accidentally when he confronted Boushie. Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew called Ginter's words hateful and divisive and is calling on him to reach out to the Boushie family and apologize for the comments. A lawyer for the Boushie family during the trial spoke on behalf of the family. He says it's Boushie, who died following a gunshot to the head, who was the real victim.
Gerald Stanley was not a victim, as that word is typically used in the criminal justice system. Gerald Stanley was acquitted by a jury, but it's important to note that Gerald Stanley at his trial never once raised self-defense, never once raised the defense of his family members. So for Mr. Ginter to conflate these two issues is just disingenuous, frankly. They have nothing to do with each other.
Ginter said he would not apologize for his remark about the Stanley trial and that it didn't involve race. When asked if he felt Boushie was a victim as well, Ginter said what happened was a tragedy and said no matter how you look at it, anytime there's a loss of life, it is a tragedy. He says their hearts go out to all those impacted. A GoFundMe has been set up for the family of a missing Ontario teen who was found dead in northern Saskatchewan. 16-year-old Josiah Webb Long from Brampton last spoke to his family a year ago on May 16th. RCMP say Webb Long was living in Pelican Narrows and his body was found during a planned search last week. Investigators are treating his death as a homicide. The GoFundMe was created to help his family cover funeral and memorial expenses. RCMP are asking anyone with information on Webb Long's death to contact them. RCMP are also investigating another suspicious death in Pelican Narrows. On Thursday morning, RCMP were called to a report of an injured male at a home in Pelican Narrows. EMS and RCMP responded, EMS declaring him dead at the scene. The victim, 26-year-old Jaden Custer from Pelican Narrows. His family has been notified and the RCMP Homicide Investigation Unit has taken over. This afternoon, RCMP announced they were looking for 31-year-old Brett McCallum, who also goes by Nigel, in relation to Custer's death. Anyone with information is asked to contact RCMP. Saskatoon's Prairie Lily is kicking off its season today with a new owner at the helm. After being docked last season due to low water levels, the Prairie Lily's new owner, Stephanie Simonot, says she's excited for the first cruise of the season. Former owners Mike and Joan Steckhan are helping guide Simonot through her first year operating the river boat. Simonot says she wanted to keep the iconic Saskatoon experience alive.
I just think it's a great way to spend the summer, and I didn't want to see Saskatoon lose the Prairie Lily because it's such an iconic experience, and I want everybody to continue to get that experience.
Some new features this year include Harbor Coffee, offering people a place to grab a drink aboard the boat during its morning dock hours. People living in a Saskatoon apartment building are spending the night in hotels after a fire forced them from their homes. Firefighters were called just after 3:15 yesterday afternoon to Appleby Drive, where they found smoke and flames coming from a third-floor balcony. The apartment has 24 suites. One unit was vacant. 2 residents are staying with family, but everyone else has been rehoused in local hotels. Firefighters say there were also 12 cats inside, 1 suite, and all of them were rescued.
Our crews worked fast and got a really quick knockdown, so my hat's off to them for making a quick and efficient stop so that we could save most of the building.
No injuries were reported, and the cause of the fire remains under investigation. The deputy fire chief says it's still unclear when residents will be allowed back inside. Well, Jeff, the Friday after a short week kind of feels like we didn't earn it, but we'll take it.
Hey, speak for yourself.
We'll take it anyway.
That's right, yeah. No tie Friday because it's going to be warm as we head into the weekend and even warmer next week. So, yes, the warmth that we were hoping for last weekend showed up this week. It delayed in the supply chain. I checked with Mother Nature, and that's exactly the case. Quick look at what's going on. We've got this big area of low pressure. It's slowly moving, making its way into northern parts of South Dakota, then into North Dakota, and ultimately into Manitoba. But along that Saskatchewan-Manitoba border, still expecting a lot in the way of inclement weather there. For western parts of Saskatchewan, more in the way of pop-up showers due to daytime heating as opposed to a really significant situation. But we do expect the low to be moving into parts of northern Alberta and maybe even Nunavut, but or rather, I should say, Northwest Territories. But that may have an impact on northern Saskatchewan. But right now, central and southern Saskatchewan is looking like it's going to be a pretty hot weekend in store, and we'll talk more about those details later on.
It's day 2 of the Yorkton Film Festival, and today experts sat down to discuss the Canadian film industry. Virginia Declout was there and has the details.
Canadian content is big, beloved, and here to stay, according to the president of the Canada Media Fund, who shared her perspective on the state of the Canadian film industry at the 79th Yorkton Film Festival.
Canada's having a bloody moment. I mean, we really are. If you look at what's happening out of our content community, you look at North of North. Anybody here hear of heated rivalry?
She says success comes from stories that stand out through authenticity.
That why they are successful is they're totally unapologetic and authentic. People are looking for authenticity. People are looking for things that are real. And audiences are smart. They can smell, something that isn't all that authentic a mile away.
But Creighton says some current systems may still hold creators back. She's calling for a model that better supports local storytelling.
Not all the other structures that we've had that kind of tick off boxes and then a show gets made. It's really going for let the creators create. Get out of the way and let them do what they do, and then you'll get authenticity.
Another challenge is keeping up with how audiences consume content. A Montreal-based filmmaker says the industry is working to adapt to streaming and social media.
It's starting to feel a bit like a dinosaur in the sense that it's very good. Culturally, ethically, Canadian content. Make Canadian stories for Canadians to consume and make them available, and that's all done by television. But younger people, they don't even watch television.
Both agree the industry is shifting and systems must evolve if Canada wants to produce more global hits. Virginia Declout, CTV News, Yorkton.
When we come back, a week to recognize the importance of paramedics wraps up. Mike Siona caught up with Lyle from Parkland Ambulance for Paramedic Services Week.
Well, it is Paramedic Services Week here in Canada, and I am in Prince Albert, Canada, with the one and only Lyle Karasek at Parkland Ambulance. It's all about improving outcomes together, and let's start by saying we're just sitting here. I'm not taking an ambulance out for a rip, Lyle. But all kidding aside, it gives us a different perspective of the teamwork that goes into this.
Absolutely, Mike, and tremendous kudos to the team that's on each and every day. First of all, for our paramedics teams here, over 120 of us make up the team, but all of our colleagues right across Saskatchewan and certainly right across Canada are celebrating this week together. And you're right, we're trying to improve outcomes of all our citizens together. So it relies on you and me as citizens, but certainly on our teams to help people, and that's what we do best each and every day.
No doubt about it. Now, also in terms of those outcomes, we're talking about not just patient outcomes, but also staff outcomes, because it's a stressful, taxing job. I can't even imagine what it would be like dealing with some of the calls that these teams have to deal with. And it's things like talking about pay, talking about mental health benefits. How important is it to really look at that holistically and at a macro level?
Well, you're absolutely right, Mike. Our teams do some amazing things each and every day. They make a difference in people's lives, but more importantly, our team, and when I say our team, our leadership team is making a difference in their lives with some of the things that you just talked about, making sure that we get them the tools that they need, first of all, in equipment, but certainly in supporting their mental health and all the things that make our team function, like our vehicles and all of the rest of it that goes into that call, as we call it, each and every day.
It gives us a different perspective of the teamwork that goes into this.
Absolutely, Mike, and tremendous kudos to the team that's on each and every day. First of all, for our paramedics teams here, over 120 of us make up the team, but all of our colleagues right across Saskatchewan and certainly right across Canada are celebrating this week together. And you're right, we're trying to improve outcomes of all our citizens together. So it relies on you and me as citizens, but certainly on our teams to help people, and that's what we do best each and every day.
How important is it to really look at that holistically and at a macro level?
Well, you're absolutely right, Mike. Our teams do some amazing things each and every day. They make a difference in people's lives, but more importantly, our team, and when I say our team, our leadership team is making a difference in their lives with some of the things that you just talked about, making sure that we get them the tools that they need, first of all, in equipment, but certainly in supporting their mental health and all the things that make our team function, like our vehicles and all of the rest of it that goes into that call, as we call it, each and every day.
So let's say, Lyle, that we got the MDT, gave us the address. We'll just turn off the lights here and talk us through what would happen next.
Well, certainly the new technology that we've had over the winter and we're proud to have is the MDT. And that's giving us turn-by-turn directions, just like your GPS, your car, your device that you have now at home provides that information. And together with our telecommunications team, we're getting that accurate response to where we need to go, where we need to send the paramedics, and to get help there accurately and quickly. And so that's one part of just many facets of what our paramedics do each and every day. And that is that team. That's that team of people that are working from an ambulance in the back that's helping you. That's our team in the communication center that's getting you there. It's our team as doing mobile outreach paramedics, a brand new thing that we're doing here in the city. And it's our community paramedics too. And so all of these partners together, Mike, are all working to improve the outcomes for you and I as citizens.
If you're on the other side of the emergency, you really do want to have every second afforded to you.
Absolutely. And we want people to obey those rules of the road. We want people to get there safely for us, and we want our teams to be there to make those positive outcomes for you each and every day. So happy Paramedic Services Week.
Couldn't have said it better. Lyle, thanks very much.
Coming up after the break, Jeff has the weather forecast for this weekend, and the World Health Organization continues to monitor the Ebola situation. Well, Jeff, I'm sure somebody down in Maple Creek or something like that might correct me, but I think up in our region here, this is going to be, and I hate to burst your bubble, but I think we're going to have a 3 in the forecast in terms of the lead number, and you can tell us more about that.
Well, I think you are correct, sir. We are expecting places to, if they don't crack 30 degrees, they'll certainly be like 29, and I think we are expecting temperatures in the low 30s from other parts of Saskatchewan, maybe not in and around Prince Albert particularly, but certainly some some very warm temperatures are on the way. We've got an interesting setup in British Columbia. Actually, the weekend's not too bad at all, but a system is moving in, so we anticipate a lot more in the way of widespread rain and quite a soaker for the rest of the week for Vancouver Island, Lower Mainland. And then another developing low is going to make its way into Alberta and moving into the Northwest Territories, but it will have an impact on parts of northern Saskatchewan and northern Alberta, as well as parts of the north, the far north. And then this is the big deal, the big rainmaker. This is going to be making its way, continuing to move northward. And as you can see, it's not going to wring itself out completely, this activity along the Alberta-Saskatchewan border. It's going to renew itself, and then we are going to get into some situations there. I just wanted to point out, it looks like it's still going to be a wet Grand Prix in Montreal. It may not be as soggy as originally thought. It all depends on how quickly this system moves up from the States. And out in Atlantic Canada, yeah, they're still dealing with frost. I know, frost. Okay, let's take a look and see. I shouldn't say Atlantic Canada, the Maritimes. Okay, here we go. So the futurecast, you can certainly see that low continuing to cycle up through Manitoba into parts of northern Ontario, but there's still some activity along the Saskatchewan-Manitoba border. Otherwise, we're looking at scattered showers for the province of Saskatchewan. Taking a look at Spiritwood tonight, these are mainly clear skies. 8 degrees for Spiritwood, 9 for the Battlefords, and then 6 in Candle Lake, Birch Hills, Rosthern, Nipawin, and Melfort. Maybe a bit more cloud cover in the Nipawin area. Then we take a look at tomorrow, and these are temperatures that are above seasonal. 22 degrees for Spiritwood, 24 for the Battlefords, 22 for Candle Lake, the same for Birch Hills and Rosthern, 20 degrees in Nipawin and Melfort, 21 degrees, and mainly cloudy skies prevails throughout the region. Now on to Prince Albert area. Well, tonight, mainly clear skies. There'll be a few clouds around, winds out of the east at 15. The wind direction shifts around a bit, but not so much the speed. Winds out of the southwest, so a warm wind tomorrow, and that's not surprising. It's nicely in keeping with that 23-degree temperature with mainly cloudy skies for Saturday. Sunday, 24, 28 on Monday, and look at that, Prince Albert, windy and 30 big degrees, and then staying in the high 20s Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So it's roasty and it's toasty.
Yeah, that sounds like maybe Riverwalk weather, maybe some gardening weather finally.
Why not?
Or even more importantly, Jeff, the Saskatchewan Roughriders are pulling out all the stops in preparation for their preseason game this weekend. Everyone was busy on Friday putting up signs and building fan areas inside the stadium before tomorrow's preseason game against Winnipeg. Changes for tomorrow's game include VIP areas, a party in the park mimicking what is outside of Mosaic Stadium, and a video board dwarfing the Huskies scoreboard. Considered the largest mobile video screen in North America, fans will be able to see replays and entertainment throughout the game. The Riders say moving as much of the game experience as possible to Saskatoon comes with its challenges, but also helps make for a unique and intimate atmosphere for fans.
I think it's a unique thing to make sure that we're providing the level of entertainment that we want to here at Griffith, while still recognizing that we are in a different place. There's a much more intimate crowd that will be here tomorrow as opposed to what we house at Mosaic. And so there's an opportunity to then provide a different layer of entertainment.
The first Rough Rider game in Saskatoon since 1991 begins at 5 o'clock tomorrow. And the Riders' residency, like we said, will wrap up after Saturday's game, and quarterback Trevor Harris has enjoyed his time in the Bridge City. He says it's been nice to get away from Regina and spend time interacting with fans after practice. And while he's able to blend in back home in Ohio during the offseason, he admits he's a little more famous when he comes back to Rider Nation.
A couple of people have told me I look like Trevor Harris before. Has anybody ever told me that? And I'm like, yeah, I've heard that a time or two. And some people have asked me if I am Trevor Harris, and it's kind of an interesting thing. I'm just a small town guy, I just like ball, and so it's just kind of like an awkward deal for me.
When asked how much Harris will play in tomorrow's preseason finale, head coach Corey Mace said the perfect amount, while Harris said he's prepared to play the whole game if necessary.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
The The World Health Organization has declared the Ebola outbreak in Congo and Uganda to be a public health emergency of international concern. Officials also say the outbreak in Congo is spreading rapidly.
We're now revising our risk assessment to very high at the national level, high at the regional level, and low at global level.
The risk within the Democratic Republic of Congo was previously considered high. The WHO says 82 cases of Ebola have been confirmed in Congo, with 7 confirmed deaths. The agency also notes there are now almost 750 suspected cases and 177 suspected deaths in total. But the situation in neighboring Uganda is considered stable.
Brought to you by Saskatchewan Union of Nurses. Thank you to Saskatchewan's 11,000 registered nurses.
What'll put a bigger smile on your face, Jeff, than firefighters being heroes and saving the day, or some little duckies?
Well,
to block every pipe.
Well, Jeff, firefighters in Owen Sound, Ontario, they came to the rescue of a family of ducks last week. They were called to a sewer grate that had as many as 10 ducklings stuck at the bottom of it. One by one, those little ducklings were scooped from the sewers, and you can see they ran straight back to their mother. Crews only took 20 minutes to reunite the concerned mother and her tiny ducklings. That's a pretty cool little, and probably all in a day's work for a firefighter, not the hardest call they've probably had to go out to.
And maybe one of the more, it's like the danger level not as high as it often is for so many of the things they have to deal with.
Absolutely, and probably a good reward to see, the little chirpies, or I don't know, what do you call a duck making noise? Is that chirping or squeaking or
quackers?
Quacking. Okay, that makes sense. They're little though, so they haven't quite their voices haven't lowered yet.
So what? Queakers?
There you go. All right, national news is coming up next. Have a great weekend.